Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from Facebook and it reads like this. Hello, how are you? I made the mistake to love a woman more than I loved myself. I thought that since she was someone that was very clever in school, if I would build a career, then we would live happily ever after. But after she had built a career, then she married another man, and then I chose to hurt her by doing Ukutwala rituals, and I ended up doing Satanism. I am a Zulu-speaking man from KZN, and I have come here with my own confession. I loved this woman. She was the one woman that I loved so deep. I did not just love her. I had built her not because I wanted her to become my slave, no, but I believed that marriage was partnership. What broke me was that she just left me, but how far she had left me behind, and there was no way that I was ever going to achieve anything good in my life because I had no education at all, and it did a lot of stuff to my mind. When I met him, she was as young as I was. I loved her quite a lot. She was shy. She was someone that did not talk that much. She had finished school but did not know what to do next. I was already working because I took responsibility from a very young age because my mother, she was a single mom. Any opportunity that I would get, I would go to work instead of going to school. I remember that close to our village, there was this other farm where we used to go and work, and sometimes I would even run away from school so that I can just work. And I ended up refusing to go to school altogether. My mom, she did not complain at all because me going to work, this meant something. It was just simple mathematics. If I am going to work, this meant that we had something to eat, something to put on the table. But if I did not go to work and I went to school, we would go to bed hungry because my mom, she was sick most of the time because she had been working as a maid and she had been using the iron, and this made her to become so sick. She used to have swollen feet as well as swollen legs most of the times. So whenever I would have gotten some money, I would give her money to make her feel okay. I was far from rich, but I was doing good for myself. She was also giving me good ideas. Like I told you, that what made me to fall in love with this princess of mine, it was because of her brain. She was someone that would think very fast, and she was very faithful in everything that she did. She said to me, I know that you are working in the farms, but use that money so that you can do a course for security. Then you apply in Joburg. Maybe you will end up even working as a security that is first to respond in rich neighborhoods, and you'll be making a lot of money. So then I did that security course, and I also went for training how to handle dogs and guns. I started submitting my CVs. First worked in Durban until I contacted a friend who was already working as a security in Joburg, and then I left her just for a couple of months, but I could not do it without her. I wanted her to be with me. So when I returned back home, I paid a little bit, not a lot, so that I can just take her and she can be with me in Joburg. And their parents were excited and they were happy. They said that I was someone that was a person that understood our culture, not to just run away with someone's daughter and then you end up in Joburg with someone's daughter. I asked for them to bless us before we had left KZN. In Joburg, life was okay. And I saw something in her. She was a disciplined woman. The amount of money that I was getting as a salary, it was money that was never enough. But to my surprise, when I would get the next pay, she would tell me not to worry because we already had other money that we had in another bank account that she was responsible for. So most of the times I did not even know how much we had. And when it came time for us to return back to KZN, I will be surprised with how much money we will be having in the account, would buy groceries for her parents and buy groceries for my parents as well. We stayed in Jozi for almost half an year, and then she told me that we had enough to at least go and pay something to her family, and the lobola discussions started. Eventually, we married traditionally and legally. I was proud to call her my wife. Since we were now legally married, I invested in her future because I wanted a strong household. When she said that she was interested in healthcare, I encouraged her. I paid for her first aid course. I drove her to classes. I helped her to study at night. And then I made sure that now she knew how to drive. I paid a lot of money to help her to get a license. I was happy and she was happy as well. And through that qualification, she started working in clinics and care environments. And I was a confident man. Then I pushed further nursing. I told her to go to nursing school. I said, don't stop here. You can go higher. I want my wife to be a nurse. And then she said to me, you are also supposed to upgrade yourself in education. And I said, I don't even understand anything. You are the one that is going to be smart in the family. I am going to be the hard worker. So we used to laugh about it. She was the brain of our marriage, and I was the one that would come with the muscles. Everything was okay. For 2 years, I supported her nursing journey, fees, transport, uniforms, and support. I stayed patient when she was stressed. I stayed loyal, and I would never even bother him. If I would try to sleep with her and she will say that she is tired, she would have set the alarm so that she can wake up and start studying again. Even when she started working, when she would work long hours, I did not mind about being romantic, sleeping with her every day. I really cared for us. I thought that as time goes on, her being a nurse and having a stable job, we will be able to even apply a loan. Then we get into business. I was even thinking about buying a baki. Then we start to operate in the courier services. We join a franchise because I had already a friend who had managed to secure a loan for a baki and he was already working. I had told my wife about this and my wife had said it was a perfect plan. I believed that we were building something for us and something for our children. And then things started to change quietly. I wanted us to have a third child, and she became rude about it. She said that she still wanted to go further with her education. She wanted to earn more money. She became distant. She was rude to me. When you are making love to a rude woman, it does not feel nice because she'll be like, when are you going to finish? I'm tired. Sometimes she will give me twice a month. She was always tired at all the times. I have a headache. I'm not feeling okay. Hey, this house is so toxic. The way that you speak with me. She was always on her phone. She stopped sharing any of the details of her day like she used to be. Before this, she would tell me everything about the hospital. She would tell me we used to be like really close and we were soulmates. She became protective of her privacy in a way that was not normal for our marriage. It was as if she was living in a world of her own. She was her own person. And I even said to her, when you are a married person, I don't think that you need to have so much privacy because we are together in this, are we not? And the way that she responded to me, it was in a painful way. She said, your privacy is your privacy. My privacy is my privacy. That is the problem with you uneducated people. You don't even have metric. Oh, it was the most painful thing that I had ever had. I just went and I sat down and I started crying because the reason why I did not have metric, it was because of what I had gone through as a young man, looking at your mother having swollen feet, having worked all of her life for some white people who did not even compensate her as even a single cent. How was I supposed to focus on metric? Yet my siblings were going to bed hungry. She came to the bedroom and she said that she was sorry, but she did not even mean it. One day, she said to me, I was insecure after we had a big argument and she did not come home. I received a message later at night. I could not sleep. I felt like committing suicide. You know, whenever you hear that there is someone who is shot his wife or the girlfriend, it's just that we don't have the cameras to rewind to know what is it exactly that led to that point that the man has shot the wife or the girlfriend. If God had given us the gift to rewind the lives of those people, you would feel sorry for the both of them. Because in my situation, my wife, she was right. I was uneducated, did not write matric. I could not get a proper job because of that. But I thought that the way that I had lifted her up, the only way that she could lift me up was helping me to get into that franchise and work the kind of a job that I knew to drive, to deliver packages, and we could start a business. That was all that I wanted from her, but I don't blame her now that I am looking back. But I used to blame her quite a lot, which made me to join Satanism. This woman, she had upgraded herself, and you can imagine, as a woman, you are now in the presence of people that went to university, doctors. You see women who are doctors driving beautiful cars. You see single men that are doctors, that are educated, that can even buy you lunch. Yet as for me, sometimes I would even come back home with nothing. I can't spoil you. I can't take you out for dinner dates because I'm always thinking about the kind of a life that we are supposed to live tomorrow. So that was the space where she was in at that time after I had helped her to become an educated woman. I had pushed her out of my space and put her into the space of men that were able to take care of her. She became silent. She did not care about the kids that I was with. Her mother would call her several times. She was so rude. Then I found out the truth from someone else. She had married a Congolese man, not dated. My brother, this woman, she did this whilst she was still legally married to me. It broke me. I did not want to fight this woman. She asked for a divorce and this happened. It was the most painful thing. She said, what does a certificate has to do with a woman that does not love you? Even if you try to fight me, you are never going to get in between my legs again because I don't love you. I am finished with you. It was very painful. So I started to survive. I did not fight her. I did not confront the man. I would cry each and every day. I even thought about drinking poison, me and my kids. I started to question myself. Was I a really man? I even thought about all the things that she said I was supposed to do where I had failed. I developed anger, and this anger did not even have any direction. I could not sleep. I lost weight. I became obsessed with using muti against this woman. That is how I ended up seeking spiritual answers, not Christianity, not from any of my family elders. I just wanted something that could match the pain. And I was introduced to a Zimbabwean Sangoma who was operating here in South Africa. So I then went to him. When I sat in front of him, he said, do not say anything, for I see that you was used by a woman who dumped you and you have come to the right place. He said that I want you to take a charm, and this charm that you are going to take, you are going to add these people. Do you know what Satanism is? I said, yes, worshipping the devil. And he said, yeah, that is something like that. I want you to join my Satanism. This man told me that even though he was a Sangoma, but he did not deal with ancestors. He dealt directly with the devil, Satanism. He said that we were going to cut the breasts off from the body of my ex-wife. I wanted to get up and to run away from that man because he felt as if he was a madman. That was what I was feeling at that time. The things that he was telling me, how can you just meet a person and then you tell them that we are going to cut the breasts of your wife and we are going to eat them and they are going to taste like chocolate when we are eating and tasting her blood. This was a crazy madman. So he told me that this breast, the way that we were going to cut them, he was going to get someone who was going to make a small doll, but with the private parts of a woman and the breast as well. And I was going to give this doll that had been made out of clay the name of my wife. And that clay doll was made within 30 minutes. It was brought before me, and I was given a knife and I was told to cut the breast. As I started cutting the breast of that clay doll, there was blood that started coming out. I saw the veins and I felt as if it was no longer clay, but it was a real human being. He said, "Give me one." And he started eating that soil. When I put the soil that looked like the breast of my wife that I was about to eat to my mouth, I smelled blood and human flesh, and he told me to chew everything up. As I was eating the soil, it was not soil, but it was real flesh and real blood, but it tasted like chocolate. Within a couple of months, my wife, she started to get so sick, and you won't even believe it. They told her that she had breast cancer. They cut her off the first breast, then they cut her off the second breast. By the time that she died, she had been divorced by that Congolese doctor of hers. She was back in the villages. I used to go there, and because I had used her blood, I started making money, and I opened my own small security company. Whenever I would return back to the village in KZN, I had the habit of driving past a house, just checking up on her as she would be lying down on the lawn, and she was always in pain. That woman, when she died, I went as I had been told to go, and I urinated on top of her grave. Some of the things that I did, I'm scared because it involved a little bit of crime. I might get myself in trouble, but that is what I did because of the love that I had for her. I ended up hating him with all of my life, and I joined Satanism, not because I wanted to, but because this woman, she hurt me in a way that I can't even explain properly. Yo, dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear brother. Let us try to speak with him in the comment section. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. If you have ever been in such a situation, you can come to my inbox and then you share with us your own side of the story.